button because it keeps me laughing.
That was easy.
You know, you've heard it all this weekend. And you'll either leave here and you'll come back and it'll be business as usual, or you will have had a mind shift and a heart shift, which gives you a habit shift. And I pray that that's what happens. I hope you don't come back here next year, if there's a fall advance next year, sitting in the same seat. I hope you don't walk out of these doors and do the same things. Because Sue just gave you a rapid fire list of some very tangible things that you can get your mind and mouth wrapped around to make a difference. Because you are the only one that can change where you are. So I pray that you'll do that. You know, there's a verse. I have a way of offending people. And it's Psalm 19:14. And it says, "May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer." And I don't want to offend anyone, but I want to be raw and truthful. Because you guys are the best of the best. This legacy of is so powerful.
That's right.
These women here, these directors out there, they are so well trained. They are magnificent. You are magnificent. I don't know what your magnificent obsession is, but I pray that something has stirred a sleeping giant inside of you. And that when somebody affirms a powerful attribute, an amazing quality in you, that you won't question that you'll take it as the gift that the Holy Spirit gave to that person to give to you, and that it would be planted in your heart. You would receive it and run with it. Because so many times we sabotage ourselves when other people are lifting you up with their vision and their words and what they've received from the Lord to give to you. Don't squander what somebody encourages you to do, because that's what you do when you internalize it and start to judge yourself, and you just kill yourself. You kill yourself because you don't believe. Somebody just said to me, "You say that to everybody," and I said, "No, I don't." I mean, I gave a gift to someone and she said, "You say that to everyone." I said, "No, I don't say that to everyone. I say things that the Holy Spirit allows me to say." I want you to know that you will never advance by chance. It's a commitment. It is a commitment. It was a commitment for Bridget Shaw to decide to be my final Offspring National Sales Director in this season of my career. It was her commitment. She had always wanted to be one. She knew she would be one, but she made a commitment to finish her area and debut that beautiful area before I debuted out with my new reassignment. I was looking at these amazing women up front. I'm going to talk about them at the end because I can't talk about them right this minute. But I want you to know that success involves people. It involves people. You must get connected to people like we used to get connected to people. Eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button, toe to toe, face to face. Everything else is secondary. It is the way the world is. We are people who crave community. When God created the world, it was the three of them. They were in community, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. That's from the very beginning. There was always community. So you have to get connected because somebody needs you. Somebody out there needs you. You are the one that needs to go and find them. You get to go and find them. You need to be accessible. That means out of your house, away from your computer, out at coffee shops, out at restaurants, out at Chick-fil-A where the kids are and the bouncies, out and about wherever you go. Do not let fear or dread hold you back. Don't fear rejection because it will stop you from reaching out to others. Ask the Lord to empower you to be able to reach out, that He would put the people in your path. There is something that is far more powerful than rejection. That is your dream. That matters so much more than rejection. You will go poo-poo on the rejection. We've all experienced rejection, and more of it than you have. That's why we're up here.
at the very top of the Mary Kay ladder of success because we dared to look rejection in the face and go forward anyway and figure out how to do it. Your goals and dreams are far more significant than your rejection. You have to believe that your goal is worth it, and then you can just look ahead at the people who have 54 years of history before you. The successful people in this company, starting with Mary Kay Ash herself. You tell yourself, I'm going to walk into the lives of the people who need this opportunity. I'm going to walk into the lives of the people who want this opportunity. But you must go where the people are, because success always begins somewhere. Success always begins at some moment. Success always begins with someone. It's just the power of one. Go where the people are. Get out of your comfort zone, the safety zone of your home. You will never build a successful business by staying in that cubicle. I'm going to ask you to take time to prioritize. That's why we did the 6 most important things list. Prioritize what's going to move you in your business, not just busy activity. There is a huge difference. Take time to plan. Mary Kay said, plan your work and work your plan. A plan is so much more significant than just jumping in your car and thinking, what should I be doing? You should jump in your car and know exactly where you're going and what your priority list is. A tired mind rarely makes a good decision. Mary Kay told us and told us and told us over and over in so many speeches, never make a decision when you are in a tough place. We will always be exhausted in a tough place and probably make the wrong decision. Feels right at the time because it relieves pressure, but it's never the right time to make that decision. Rest and recreation are not sin. That's why you have to plan. Rest time to me is repair time. Debbie and I were talking about what we were going to do tonight already. What shows would we watch? Where would Bill and Debbie and my mom and I go to dinner? Would we take a walk? What would we do? It's repair time. It's not a loss of productivity. You renew and you restore so you can release new energy, new ideas, and greater potential. And then your work time is giving time. It's when you give out to others those compliments, those makeovers, those compliments, those encouraging words, the belief system that you have in someone. And rest time is when you receive from the Lord what He needs to replenish you from. So important. We need both. We need both. And when you take time to plan, you plan in so you receive both. One should never be at the expense of the other. No compromising in that area if you're going to go the distance like these women up here. You have to understand the balance of both, and your accomplishments will grow. And people will look at you, and they will say, I love her life. She has family time, but when she works, she's 100% all in. You see, people will always watch what you do. I think that's probably one of the greatest strengths of Sue Hubel. I watch her hunt Facebook, her life with her Fab 5 kids. Yet she's always got her pink Cadillac and showing the loading of the crowns and everything that they drive to seminar. But everything looks like a journey and adventure and balance, doesn't it? Yes. That's what makes people want to be a part of this company. Because you don't see that with executives and corporations or Jeannie's Tambrellas that work 70 hours trying to keep all those real estate listings going and please the person, the broker in charge. They don't have the fun we have. Many people recruit because of what they see fleshed out in your life. Remember this, when you're fatigued, faith walks out. So you must schedule playtime along with that very important working time. So champions plan. You're a champion. You come from champion blood. You plan. What is a plan? Simple. A plan is a written list of arranged actions that are necessary to achieve the goal that you want. And goals are just the stepping stones. Goals are stepping stones. It's like a stairway to a dream, and your dream is up in the iCloud. You want to pull it out of the iCloud by doing those plans, those arranged goal steps to get up. Because it's up there. We know our dreams are up there. We just need to learn how to plan to get them down. And we talked about this. I've heard several people say the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. So get really good at assigning yourself the 6 most important things. Assign those to yourself. Master that 6 most important daily list. Ask yourself, when you leave here and you get your reflective time, what are my regular Mary Kay business habits that I've established daily so that I can succeed? And then say, what haven't I established so that I can succeed? You may need to put a little exercise in your day, first thing, so you have pep in your step and energy. Do you know when we exercise, we have the most creative ideas? We get completely outside of ourselves, out of any exhaustion, and we get really good when we take time to exercise. You know, the other day I was at Planet Fitness and I was on the treadmill and I saw Sue Yuba walk in. I was so excited to see her. I waved her over so she'd get on the treadmill next to me. She said, I went faster than I have. Look at how bad I'm sweating. We were talking so fast, so excited, because when you get together with somebody who's motivated, it motivates you. It raises you to higher levels. I was so excited when I left there. I said, I feel so energized. I didn't feel exhausted. I felt energized. Mentally, emotionally, physically. You guys, sometimes that may need to be what you add to your life. But if we don't master daily activity, your life, I promise you, will slip away. I can't believe how fast it's going right now. It is true that the older you get, it's fleeting. It's totally fleeting. So I want you to just be good at delegating even specific hours on what you need to be doing during those hours. You know, Arlene Lenars used to say, successes are scheduled events. How profound is that? If you're not scheduling it, there will be no success. And remember, planning time, you guys, it takes time to plan, but it is worth the hour the night before to plan your day the next day so that you get up and running. You're not in neutral, you're not in reverse. It is time well spent. Because see, I believe that planning is the very starting point for any dream to be realized or for any goal to be reached. Galatians 6:9 says, do not be weary. Do not get tired. It says, let us, as a whole, let us not get weary. Get tired in doing well. For in due season we shall reap a harvest if we do not give up, if we do not faint. And it talks about us as a whole. Will you close, everyone? No. But you must remember that rejection, it's not fatal. It's just another piece of building that steel fabric that helps you to reach your goals. And sometimes, you guys, this is the real hard truth. We have to do things that we dislike to create something we love. If you don't love booking, if you don't love warm booking, if Debbie had not taught that girl to go out and love warm booking, and that she left the company, but if she had not taught her to go out to do something she disliked, look at what love bond was created with Dawn and Debbie for all these years. Do you think that girl loved going out? Debbie pushed her. She circled around like a buzzer. Really. So I just want you to know that sometimes you have to do things you dislike to create something that you love. We love our life up here. Yeah. We love our life. We really love it. We want you to love your career. Love going to the dealership to get your pink Cadillac. Love putting a diamond bar pin on for the first time. Love having a diamond bumblebee fly on your shoulder. Love picking up your cruise. Love picking up your Mini Cooper, whatever. We want you to love everything about this business. You can love it if you never aspire to do this. You can be a part of this. A part of a national area just for selling the product and being a key holder and being a star consultant. and sharing this product. It's all a part of this. We needed every single person doing their part to create these national areas. Everything. And sometimes you have to be willing to experience a season of pain in order to have a season of gain. Who would have ever known that when I turned 60 years old, my marriage of 40 years and my family would have crumbled from what I knew it to be? But let me tell you something, during that season of pain, Heather Carlson, who always had it in her, grabbed Sue Ubel, who always had it in her, and they held up my arms and ran with everything that they had inside of them. The giant rose up and they became national sales directors because it was their season and they saw my pain season. It was their season of gain. And when they did it, those two in 2013, the very year that it all started, Elaine did not want to be left behind because these are her sisters. And Melody called Sue because they had a special connection. And Melody said, Sue, how did you do it? What did you do? Do you think I can do it? I want to do it. And Sue encouraged Melody, and Melody held hands with Elaine. And those two said, to me, we're going to be your next twins. They had everything they needed already inside, stored up, waiting for their season. And that was God's appointed time for their season. And then Jeannie said, I don't want to be left behind. So Jeannie rose up, and she was the triplet. They all debuted. Triplet national sales directors. Think about it. They always had it in them. You have it in you.
Yes.
It's already been sewed into you, into the fabric and the DNA of who you are. You've got it. You just have to dig deep and pull it out. Have an insurrection. Let that sleeping giant wake it up. Mary Kay used to say, if you want your dreams to come true, wake up. That's what she used to say to us. You can't sleep and have anything happen. And then Bridget, after they debuted, Bridget said, I'm going to do it. 20 days ago, and exactly 10 days ago from today, the company called her and made the appointment that she was the next National Offspring Sales Director. She made the commitment. It wasn't an interest. An interest is when things are convenient. A commitment is when it's inconvenient.
Right.
But your commitment will always outweigh your flimsy excuses. Remember, condense the boundaries of your excuses and expand the stakes of your possibilities. Expand. Condense those dang excuses there from the enemy. He wants to render you ineffective and shut you down in any way he can because we have a target on our back when we talk about the Lord. But I believe that that's why we're standing tall 55 years later, because we are a company that honors him first. And I want to share something with you because I think it's so important for you to see that no matter what season you're in right now, it doesn't matter because God's got you. If he's calling you to something great, he's going to provide the resources. I said to Bridget, when we heard about the hurricane, I said, Lord, what else could happen? And then he said to me, I'm going to blow in the miracles. And he did. I'm going to blow in the resources. And I said, I choose to believe he's going to blow in everything, that it's not going to be a takeaway. It's going to be a whirlwind. That's what I said to Bridget. He's going to blow in your miracles. It's going to happen. This hurricane is going to be an answer to prayer. It is not going to be what thwarts you. The enemy wants to believe that, but we don't believe that. And I want to tell you another story because this, again, is how the Lord works. 23 years ago, Jordan was little. Sydney was little. I was married. My mother-in-law, we invited her to go on a Bahama cruise. My sister-in-law and her husband and their 4 kids and his mother. And the one thing they asked of me when we were planning it is, please do not do Mary Kay. Do not. Make this a family vacation. And I said, okay. But as I was packing, I was prompted to put 1 recruiting packet in there. Just one. Just one. I can't help myself. So I put 1 in there. And when I was on the treadmill, you guys, I'm telling you, go exercise, you'll be at an Offspring National. She was on the treadmill. She had just had Kayla. Little Kayla was 2. And I gave that recruiting packet, but I want to tell you something. Bridget and Kenny were there with Crystal. Stand up, Crystal. Right there, stand up, Crystal. She was on that cruise ship. Crystal was there to witness this. Bridget went back and said, this chick had all these big diamonds on it. She told me they're real. I showed up the next morning. She was there, but she brought Kenny the next morning. I think she wanted Kenny to see her. And Crystal and her husband, and Bridget and Kenny, I said, I have to give you something. And I gave her that 1 recruiting packet without anybody in my family knowing it. And we were on the cruise ship, and I said, why don't we meet for a cocktail at 5 o'clock, because I knew our dinner was at 7 o'clock that night. So I snuck away from my cabin to go tell her about Mary Kay. And it just so happened that we had just done the 2 million, and my picture was in the Fortune magazine. She went home, and first of all, they were laughing. They thought, this was so funny, that girl, she's so funny. I'm sure she's just making up stories, didn't you, Crystal? They were totally laughing at me. I'm so happy she's here to corroborate my story. They thought I was just blowing bubble. But here's the moral of the story. Bridget went home, and she went to the library and got microfiche, because that's how long ago that was, to look up the Fortune article, and she said, that girl was a lion. My whole reason for sharing that with you is that I could have let negative family people back then prevent me from bringing a recruiting packet. That family is no longer my family. This is my family.
Didn't understand Mary Kay. They said, I worship Mary Kay. I said, no, I worship the God she serves. I don't worship Mary Kay. I said, I love that she had the courage to start a company in the 60s that put God first, because it wasn't in my life. So I just want you to understand the power of being connected to the right mentors and listening to the right voices, his voice first. An audience of 1. I pledged when I met the Lord through Mary Kay that I would serve him with my whole heart. And this would be a ministry platform. I just never realized the extent of what it would turn into. But the older I get and the more I get down the road and I see how he was the guiding force all along the way, I don't question. That's why when somebody gives you a compliment, you believe them. Don't you question, because that's the enemy. You know, he sits on your shoulder and just go like this. Like a mom. And when he whispers something negative to you, just like you do with your computer, hit the delete button on your temple. Delete. You delete and have a junk mail folder on your computer, right? Don't you empty that junk mail folder out? Empty the junk mail folder. Get rid of it. You don't need it. You guys, I believe that most people are looking to change something and they aren't sure how. And Mary Kay is disguised as this fun thing, but it is the opportunity of the land. And you are and can be, if you've not been so far, an agent of change.
I love the thought of that. I love the title of being an agent of change. I used to be an undercover Christian my first year, and then I came out of the closet. Take an inventory of your greatest strengths. What is your expertise? Run with your greatest strengths. Run with what you love to do. Everything else will get figured out. Maybe you're a great organizer or an administrator. Maybe you're funny. Your humor can take you so far in Mary Kay. Maybe you're a joy giver. Maybe you're a caretaker. We need caretakers in Mary Kay too, don't we? Yeah, some people just need loving. Patience. Maybe you're patient. Maybe you just know how to make people feel at ease and comfortable. You have the gift of hospitality. Maybe several of those gifts are operating in you. Maybe you're a peacemaker or an award-winning speaker. Maybe you're an encourager or a great teacher. Maybe you're a great listener. Oh my goodness, there are so few good listeners anymore these days. You can go so far in Mary Kay as a great listener. I just want you to know that you can be used. You can be an agent of change. Do you smile? Do you know that a smile is a curve that sets things straight? Sometimes it just takes a smile, you guys. It helps somebody somewhere. Maybe not everybody needs your gift, but somebody does. Okay? Ask yourself every day when you wake up, whose life am I capable of improving today? You guys, if you went out with that mentality, you would not fear rejection. Whose life am I capable of improving today? Whose income could I help improve today? Whose peace of mind could I help improve? Whose peace of mind could I affect? You know, the fruit of the Spirit is Galatians 5:22, and it is love, and it is peace, and it is joy, and it's patience, and it's faithfulness, and it's gentleness, and it's goodness, and it's self-control. Think about those. I missed one. I said joy.
Kindness. Kindness.
Kindness. I forgot kindness. You guys, let the fruits of the Spirit operate in you, because if they're not operating in you, the opposite is. But I believe if you go out with the fruits of the Spirit, you are going to be a light that attracts people to you. They will see your goodness. They will be attracted to you. Who can you be that agent of change for? I promise you, if you focus on serving others, it will serve you well. Move out of the past by focusing on the gifts that you can invest in other people. Because when you invest your gifts in other people, that is living. That is the best way to live when it's all about serving others. Mary Kay said, if you help enough other people get out of life what they're looking for, it will help you. But it's not about you knowing what you want first. It's about investing your gifts and talents. We've got to stop looking at where we've been and start looking at where we're going. That's why we have eyes in the front of our head instead of the back of our head. Because your past does not dictate your future. It's a really good thing that God doesn't consult our past to determine our future. He is the God of second chances and third chances and fourth chances and fifth chances, however many chances we need, because we all have scars. We all have handicaps from our past. Some are emotional, some are mental, some are physical, some are spiritual. And maybe all of these operate for you. But remember, those who created yesterday's pain do not control tomorrow's potential. You see, happiness is between your two ears. That's what it is. Your mind is the drawing room for tomorrow's successes. Don't ever forget that, because mind management is the #1 priority for an overcomer. And don't we all, in some areas of our lives, have to be overcomers? And when you start doubting what somebody plants in your head, I can tell you this, you're going to go without. You doubt, you go without. What was planted in your heart over these last 48 hours, do not dig up in doubt. They were planted in faith. So you take those seeds and you take your gifts
and you live your best life because the Lord has a better plan for you than anything you can imagine for yourself. Ephesians 3:20, glory be to God who by his mighty power at work within you is able to accomplish immeasurably more than anything you could hope for, dream for, or pray for. You can't even begin because you don't know what he has in mind for you. You couldn't even begin to imagine that you could be that highly favored for what he has in store for you. So just let him have it. Say, Lord, I'm going to receive everything you have for me. I'm going to go out and do what I know to do. Yeah, if you agree with me, put your hand up. Amen, sister. Yes. Yes. Your thoughts are so powerful, you guys. They have the capability of drawing people towards you or driving people away from you. And your attitude is always sensed. People always sense an attitude that's positive, and they want to be around people that will feed into them and not deplete them. Be that person. Mary Kay always told us, she said it over and over, pay any price to be in the presence of extraordinary people. And if you want to live an extraordinary life, find out what the ordinary people do and don't do it.
That was easy.
Be different. Be different. Stand out. What is your standout factor? It's the gifts that God gave you. That's what makes you stand out. You don't want to fit into the crowd. Don't ever be a wallflower. Do not fit in. It's not becoming of a daughter of the King. You stand out. You be different. You be giving and you be forgiving. You be a light, be generous with your compliments, be generous with your God-given talents. Some people just need a hug. I can't tell you how many people we have hugged that just start crying in our arms. You guys, there's not enough love anymore. And if God is first and family second, we're all about love.
Right.
We're not about judging people. We're about encouraging people. Think about you as an agent of change, contributing, depositing something great in somebody else's life. If you put something great in their mind or their heart, you can do it through this product. The product is the vehicle. The product's not the end all. The product is our vehicle to get into their homes, to get into their hearts. And look at you giving contributions as your assignment from God. He's assigned you to do that. He didn't give you those things to keep them to yourself. And I believe the Lord will move you up the career path when you begin to look at yourself as that highly favored daughter who's giving her gifts and talents away using the vehicle of Mary Kay Cosmetics. And I believe that you will move up the career path of Mary Kay and life when you get in the presence of God. Do you get in his presence all the time? You have to be in his presence because that's where you get your power, your direction, your strength for life. I always say, Lord, I want my orders from headquarters today. Who am I supposed to hug on today? And I always tell my directors, you need direction, you get your orders from headquarters. I can honestly tell you that Bridget Shaw was calling me, texting me, voxing me, and saying, I am solely listening. These 2 ears are solely listening. Your lips to my head, your lips to my heart. Who are you listening to? And I promise you, my friends, when you get in the presence of God, your best ideas will surface. Your best energy will surface. He will expand your thoughts. He'll expand your goals. He'll expand your dreams. And he will elevate your vision. So, him being number one. Number two is, who are your mentors? Do you know that mentors are bridges to tomorrow? They're going to be your cheerleaders on the journey. And every one of us need a mentor. They will teach you that you cannot stuff a 16 by 20 vision in a 3 by 5 mind. Can't do it. Can't do it. You can't do it. You have to expand. Mentors will stretch you to be the best that you can be at the level you are presently at and showing you where the next level is by believing in you. You will never ever move to the next level until you become overqualified for your present position. And we learn from others who are where we want to be. I'm going to tell you one other little lesson. Learn to say no. It's a simple sentence. Don't ever complain about not having enough time when you say yes to everything. No is a complete sentence.
If it doesn't fit into your goal, it's time to say no. Because when you say yes, what does that say about your commitment to where you say you want to go? It's a distraction. So my friends, I want to say to you, what is your magnificent obsession? What is it that you really want to accomplish? We all know that we're looking for kingdom fruit. And if you're not, you need to just come and talk to one of us, and we'll help you flesh that out. What does kingdom fruit look like? And maybe you need to make a decision before you can even understand that phrase. And we are here to help you. It's the most important thing that we could be talking about right now. But I want to say to you, what is your magnificent obsession? Do not get a broken focus. Do not let the enemy derail you. We had a very simple acronym that we said for years, and it was the word focus. And it's simple. Follow one course until successful. What is your course? I'm just going to tell you right now, the course is ending for many of us. My course, it's a Ruby here. Hi, Gran. Did you hear it? Hey girls, are you ready to sell Mary Kay? Oh, yeah.
I love you, Coco.
I love you. Oh my gosh. Hey girls, that's the perfect line. Are you ready to sell Mary Kay? That was God. That was the Lord making it so easy. But here's what I want to say, because it's time for me to sit down. But I just want to say to you, Grant. Here's what I want to say. In 12 months, Debbie Moore will be joining me in reassignment. In 10 weeks, the next place I'll see you all is in San Diego. So I'm counting on you being there in droves. All of you, Aiden in, all of you as DIQs and new directors, and I want you to come up to me and say, it was the Charlotte Leadership Advance that shifted my habits and shifted my heart and shifted my mind. Thank you. Because you see, fruitfulness is not an option for a Christian. It's an expectation from your Father in heaven. And you know, the fruit, the labor, and the results of an event like this is what makes us want to continue to do things like this, to know that it made a significant impact to each one of you in some way. That's how we gauge these kinds of events. Melody is 43. She's got a few years to be your national. Thank the good Lord. Bridget just turned 50. She's got 15 years to serve as a national. Jeannie Tamburello is 51. So you're going to have her for 14 years. In 9 years, Dawn will be reassigned in 9 years. Elaine in 6 years will be saying, come down to Panama City Beach. I am reassigned because Elaine is 59. Did I miss anybody? Heather. Oh, Heather and Debbie are going at the same time in 12 months. That is unbelievable. Sue has 4 years. Sue has 4 years. If I were sitting in that audience right now, I would be so focused on getting where I need to be to have mentorship from these legacy our daughters. I would be working so hard to be mentored by them, to soak up every bit of wisdom that they have to offer. We are counting on you, Jordan and Taylor, our daughters. We're counting on you to build your national areas as our birth daughters. And then we're counting on all of you to be Titus women,
or to be national sales directors. We're counting on you. You have to do that. You just have to. Because you guys have us inside of you and we need you. We need this to keep going. Yes. We need our tree to get deeper roots with other generations, next generations of you. You have to do this. It is our legacy. Our legacy dies if you do not carry it on. Mary Kay's legacy, she said, I created the position of national sales directors to be my daughter so that when one day I am no longer on this earth but I'm in heaven, you will carry on the principles and the traditions and the legacy of my company. We took ownership of that. All of us as nationals, we became the torch bearers for Mary Kay. We now, our torch is not going to burn brightly in this arena, it's going to burn brightly in another arena. So you have to pick up the torch. We're passing it to you right now. I'm passing the torch to you right now. So you got to step up to the plate. You know, when I was a brand new consultant, I had a verse on my date book, and I put it on every date book since, and it says Proverbs 16:3. Commit your work to the Lord, and then your plans will succeed. Commit your work. It was my first Bible verse that ever went. Commit your work to the Lord, then your plans will succeed. Proverbs 16:3. When Bridget debuted as a national, I saw her big thing come out, and that was my original verse. And she was number 7 national in the Bible, which is the number of completion. It was no mistake that he put that on mine and put that in her heart and knitted the two together. There's a million verses in the Bible. There's 66 books. She could have picked any verse, but God picked that one for her. He picked that one for me in the beginning, and this is the beginning for her. I'm passing the torch to you. And I'm so thankful that I get to be Coco to Ruby in London. And it's going to be an honor to watch you carry on my legacy as my daughter. Because I know you're going to be up here with all these amazing women and the ones out there that make the choice to become nationals. And I'll end on something fun because I don't want to leave looking ugly crying. You know, as God would have it, the company made a little bright change in the national program where you could bring a family member on the trip with you if you wanted to. And so I called James Rudderup, Sydney's husband, and I said, I'd like to take Sydney to Monte Carlo, Mary Kay style, as my guest on the national trip, and then hop on a first-class ship that they broke apart and put a whole new part back together and created it to be the most fabulous ship of all. And we'll sail down the coast of France and go all the way to Barcelona, Spain. And I gave that to Sydney as my farewell gift. But Cindy and Jordan and the girls will all be in San Diego when I do my final debut. So I just want you to know that that's going to be so much fun to have Sydney on my last cruise as an active national.
Wow.
So what a blessing this company's been. It blesses so much further than you could ever even imagine. And I cannot imagine my life without Mary Kay. You know, my title may change, but my relationships with you are forever, eternity. You see, I collect friends. I always have, and I always will. Don't let me down. God bless you.